Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
On first down, Swift call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Vick on the bootleg. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Michael Vick. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Fielded just inside the 30. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
He's checking. Crash. Under rock it. Check nickel. Deep rip.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain there of 21 yards.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Watch the run. You got tight right there. Hatchet. Check safety. You're out. Wide. Get wide.
Right back to him on 1st down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career, and Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Come on, boy. Protein spill. You better be ready. Get it.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front seven can get him down.
Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week one. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. They'll run on first down. Swift. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. Third and short yardage. Vick. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch the screen. Kill. Check 3.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Now here's Vick. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 26.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, Swift.
17 more yards. They had 17 on the previous snap as well.
First and goal at the 9-yard line.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They're looking at a first and goal from about the 9. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons have taken the lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. First and 10.
Look, squeeze.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Look at me. Door. Sponge. No. Switch.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
Yeah, looked good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. He swallowed him up.
Ready. 30 base. Pick it up, guys. Look at me. Zipper. Ready.
Out of the gun now on third down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Falcons will be taking over first and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But, you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5.
Tight down. There you go. Switch.
It's a play fake. Now Vick. And he will find his man on the outside. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
Here we go. Here we go. This is the outlaw.
They'll run on first down. Swift. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Saints. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football.
Ready. 50 seconds to Mike. You must be dreaming. He's crashing.
Vic now after the fumble recovery. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain there of 21 yards. On first down, Swift. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards is the pickup, good for a first down for the Falcons.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Right back to him on first down. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. On second and 11 now. Vic, and that is incomplete here. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, only thing larger than his name is wingspan as he knocks that one away.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's airing it out for Williams, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Now he'll look to throw here on second and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. It's caught. Smith. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. They'll look to throw here. He's got Smith here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Got his man. It's Williams. And he's got this down to the 35. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
Ready? 15, Lonnie. 15 Lonnie.
Get away from him. 58, boys. 58. 58, it's Mike. I got it.
He'll drop to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
It's going to be a long day, offense.
2nd and long. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Leo.
Slam.
5.
Looking to throw. Buying time to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14. They'll try and run for it. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there just before halftime. And even 40 yards.
First down, Atlanta.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. On the right hash, officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Come on,
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
When you spend your first-round pick on a pass rusher, you are absolutely counting on him to be an impact player. And there you go. Right away, he gets to the quarterback.
And guess what? Likely the first of many that we're going to see from that young man. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now back to throw. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And finally out of bounds down near the 10-yard line. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense set up nicely with what looks to be a 1st and goal right around the 10-yard line. A very short field to work with now. 1st and goal after the great punt return. Give it here to his running back. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Throwing, Vick. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. Here's Vick. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that he dreamed of this. How about this for your debut? Second sack in the opener.
Yeah, it's great to get one. That's memorable. Two? Hello.
Now, he dreamed about it. He thought about it. Did he ever expect it to happen? Probably not.
This is taken at the 23. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Elsewhere in the NFL, they're in the second half at FedEx Field now. The Redskins have scored yet again. They've really opened that one up. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. To throw, Vick. All incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, he's got a couple more downs to play with.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuck that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And Vick's throw there incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken around the 12. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over.
On the ready.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. And a give this time to the tailback. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The open man is Smith. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
On the double.
458's the mic. Hey, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
5.
Now a handoff looking right. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Falcons grab it. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Check, 59. Here we go. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
Following the fumble recovery. Vick. Now Vick stripped. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
We got it.
Let's go. 10-2 soft. Hey, orbit.
58's the mic. 58's the mic.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's Williams on the catch. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play.
Five.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They'll run on first down. Swift. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Vic to throw it. Quick hitter here. It's complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On 3rd down, Swift. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing again on 2nd down. Vic. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. Taking it right down Broadway. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Now listen, it's a team game, we know that, but where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? They take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again, but on offense they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right. You just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least. Keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch their breath.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Watch the eye. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
Now they try the right side here. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Let's go, boys.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 41-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Ito Smith, his first carry. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely, this defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. They'll try and run for it with Smith. He chucks him aside.
Bumped him.
38 yards on the scamper there. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Clock's under a minute. Still plenty of time, partner. They have all 3 timeout.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
A strong running. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. They'll look to throw. This throw caught at about the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. They'll come out in the pistol. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. He's back to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Charles, I think back to your earlier statement about the visitors being the underdogs needing to win that turnover battle. And this defense, they forced 2 turnovers so far, a big reason why they lead this game.
Yeah, and I know defenses always talk about getting turnovers in bunches, getting those takeaways. 2's not a bunch, but it's plenty in this game, exactly the formula they need. And I got to tell you, partner, I like it when you think back to something I said that actually comes true, that's actually right.
It happens more often than you might think.
So it's 3rd and goal, and now the question, can this Falcon defense stand tall once more? He'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick here is good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range, not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay?
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 23. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
A gain of 11 brings up 2nd and 4 at their 30-yard line.
Bang, 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 bang. Hey, check 24, check 24. Slip 3.
They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. As a fan of the NFL, for an opener, you can't ask for much more than this overtime in Week 1.
I know it's hard to believe that some people may not have been watching our game, but I'll bet through social media they found out this one was snug and getting into overtime, and they flipped over here in a hurry. This is fantastic. If you're a fan of ball, you love these types of games.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Shoot!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Check. Rush in.
First throw in overtime here for Vic. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. So third down coming up. And, Charles, I guess the question for me, where does 4-down territory begin possibly?
I guess for me it begins if you have 4th and 5 or less, because you've got to understand your team and know what your play calls are. What do you have that you think you're confident that you can pick up that type of yardage? It might be 4th and 3 for some teams, but I think anything under 4th and 5, they'll think about going for it.
What will they draw up to try to keep this opening drive of overtime moving? 3rd and 7. Off the play fake, Vic. Oh, so close but incomplete. Could have been a big turnover in overtime if he'd held on. Instead, though, it's 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter on for a very important punt here in overtime. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
And part 1 is done, now part 2. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Check 25. Deuce. Check 26. Check 43. Kill.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
58, right over there.
They're going to look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
You got to remember, because now that we're in overtime, mistakes get magnified. So you got to walk that line between being aggressive and being careful, because that was a dangerous throw right there. You obviously could not have an interception in this spot.
And nearly was an interception. He's lucky to get that one back. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Well, what was the term that you just used a minute ago?
Well, especially in overtime, mistakes get magnified, so it's time for us to get our microscopes out, right? I mean, take a look at what's going on out there. That was very close to being a crucial play.
Yeah, got to look that ball in, didn't, and it hit the ground. But now here's a deep shot that's complete, and that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 34-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Under 10. 10. Check 9.
Alert 3.
Out. Watch the safety creep. Hey, lock it. Get it.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. 17 there and a New Orleans 1st down. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
Switch gears. Check. Check 4. Watch out.
Bear. Coming.
SOS.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
Check 53.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And he got it! The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, and they capitalize on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for New Orleans, they needed overtime to do it, but they get the Week 1 victory thanks to the field goal. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Foot on the gas, I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands, jump in the man. Oh, there with the hands, thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans, I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas, I will not crash. 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard. Yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. They on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. High for it, specifically flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle this. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed to get victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man. Oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash. slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's noted in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey, or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets, the coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team around took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Put in the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash.
S-T-R-O. How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?